Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective, lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here to talk about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And we are here with a new episode. And thank you all for joining, or thank you for coming for the first time. I hope you like this episode. And our weekend was a fantastic weekend. We went to Disney on Ice. I went as a kid. My wife, she never went as a kid. So it was like an experience for her and my daughter, which I feel like my daughter, she was invested. I was so proud of her because she's just two. She sat there through the whole show, and gosh, she took a nap.
The last 10 minutes, she was over Moana.
Like Moana came on, and something about it, her first birthday party was Moana thing. And for her to just fall asleep, I'm like, girl, did you really like your first birthday? But she fell asleep through Moana and also the ending. By the end, it was like, okay, let's just go ahead and go because it's just wrapping up. And we were trying to like get out before it started getting crowded. And I'm glad we did.
I'm ready for next year's show.
Yeah, we want to go. We want to go every year. We're gonna do like a little family tradition, go every year until she be like, "Moms, I'm okay." And I feel like that's probably like teenage years, but most teenagers still go because we still see a little couple teenagers there.
Yeah.
So hopefully she doesn't like ruin our vibe and be like, "Mom, I'm too." It's gonna hurt when she said, "Mom, I'm too old for this." Crush my little soul. But she is. We're going on Disney cruise for her birthday, so it's a Disney year for her.
Yep.
Well, let's get into the episode. Today's case takes place in a quiet lakeside town, the final days of summer in 1990. Should have been peaceful, but one night darkness crept into a family home, leaving behind a mystery that will haunt the community for decades. Sometime between 1:30 and 3 o'clock a.m., an intruder shattered the glass of the back door, slipped inside with a heavy metal weapon in his hand. He struck his first victim, a mother, again and again, leaving her unconscious and unrecognizable. Then he turned to the teenage girl, sleeping on the couch. She never had a chance. Dragged her into the backyard. The girl's last moments were filled with horror. By morning, a friend arrived at the home, expecting to spend time together. Instead, she stumbled upon a gruesome scene, sending shockwaves through the town. The mother survived, but no memory of the attack. The youngest child in the home, an infant, was left untouched. Detectives searched the scene, but found no DNA, no murder weapon, only a bloody shoe print from a size 9 or 10 Nike sneaker. Over 800 people were questioned, and one name emerged repeatedly, a man with a violent past who just months later would take another life in a nearby town. But his alibi held firm. No charges were ever filed. Decades later, the case remained open, the truth buried in silence. Some believe the answer lies within the town, high among those who still call it home. As times run out, one question remains. Who committed the unthinkable that night, and will justice ever find its way through the darkness? This is a case of Leah Sousa. Leah Sousa was born on June 7, 1977. A bright light in the lives of those who knew her. She was a girl full of dreams, eager to embrace her teenage years and all the possibilities that held. The small town of Cumberland Beach, Ontario, was where she called home, a quiet lakeside community where families felt safe, where children played freely, and where tragedy was unthinkable. But as the warm days of the summer decreases, in 1990, the town's sense of security will be shattered forever. Leah had recently graduated from Archery Public School and was looking forward to beginning high school, a milestone that should have been filled with excitement and new beginnings. That summer, she and her mother, Lora, along with her baby brother, Michael, had spent weeks visiting family. They had returned home just 2 days prior, exhausted but happy, unaware that something sinister lurked in the shadows, waiting. The evening of August the 31st, 1990 was like any other. The Sousa home was quiet as Leah and her family settled in for the night. Her mother, Lora, was a dedicated single mother, working hard to provide for her children. The house nestled in the peaceful neighborhood had always been a sanctuary, but sometime between 1:30 and 3 a.m., that sanctuary was violated. The shadow moved in the darkness, creeping toward the back of the house. The sound of breaking glass shattered the silence as an intruder forced his way inside. The man carried a heavy metal object, a crowbar, a pipe, or perhaps a tire iron. He moved with a purpose, his intentions unmistakable. His first target was Lora. The brutal blow rained down on her, the sound of metal meeting bones echoing through the night. She crumbled into the floor, unconscious, her body bearing the weight of an attack meant to silence her forever. Then the man turned his attention to Leah. She had fallen asleep on the couch that night, the soft glow of a nearby lamp casting a gentle shadow around her. She was yanked from her couch, terror filling the final moments. She was assaulted, her scream lost in the cruel of the darkness. Then she was dragged outside into the backyard, where the cold steel of the weapon met her once more. The night swallowed her cries, leaving only silence. But the first light of dawn broke the trees. Leah lay lifeless in the grass. The world had changed forever, though the town was still unaware of the horror that had unfolded while they slept. A young friend of Leah arrived at the house that morning, eager to spend time with her before school began. She never expected to find a nightmare instead. When she stepped into the backyard and saw Leah's broken body, panic overtook her. Screams filled in the air as she ran for help, drawing neighbors from the home in shock and disbelief. Emergency responders arrived within minutes. Lora, though battered almost beyond recognizable, was still alive. She was rushed to the hospital, her survival hanging in the balance. Michael, still in the crib, had been left untouched. Perhaps the only sign that the intruder had a twisted sense of control over his actions. Leah, however, was gone.
Detectives combed through the house and the surrounding area, desperate for clues. Yet, despite the brutality of the attack, forensic evidence was scarce. There was no DNA, no fingerprints, no murder weapon. The only physical trace left behind was a shoe print. A Nike all-leather court or tennis shoe, size 9 or 10. The lack of evidence baffled investigators. Whoever had done this had either been careful or incredibly lucky. But one thing was certain, the attack wasn't random. It was too targeted, too precise. Someone had been watching. Someone had known Lora and Leah were vulnerable that night. Lora survived, but at a terrible cost. The savage beating had erased her memories of that night. She awoke in the hospital to a reality she couldn't fully grasp. Her daughter was dead, her home was a crime scene, and she had no recollection of the monster who had done this. Desperate for answers, Lora tried everything to recover her lost memories. Hypnosis, sodium pentothal, the so-called truth serum, and even experimental treatments using magnetic fields to stimulate brain activity. But nothing worked. These memories remained locked away, taunting her with their absence. Instead, she was left with flashes, sensations rather than concrete recollections. A shadowy figure, the feeling of terror, the sense that she knew the man who had done this, but the details refused to surface, leaving investigators with only speculation and dead ends. Over the years, more than 1,800 people were interviewed. Among them, one man stood out, Brian Timothy Elson. Elson had a violent past. Just 4 months after Leah's murder, he stabbed 17-year-old Sandra Bannister to death in nearby Orilla, less than 8 miles from Cumberland Beach. He pleaded guilty not to murder, but to manslaughter. His sentence? 6 years in prison. Years later, in 2010, the television news program W5 revisited Leah's case and uncovered a chilling detail. Elson's grandmother lived down the road from the Sousa family. At the time of Leah's murder, he had been staying with her. When confronted by a reporter, Elson denied any involvement. He claimed he had been at a party in another town that night and had 60 witnesses to verify his alibi. Investigators could never place him at the scene, and so the man who many believe could be Leah's killer walked free. The truth still buried in silence. The town of Cumberland Beach has changed. New families have moved in, unaware of the tragedy that once unfolded there, but for those who remembered, the wound never fully healed. Detectives continue to work the case, hoping that advancements in forensic science may one day unlock new evidence. 2 detectives are still assigned to Leah's case full-time, chasing leads, re-examining old evidence, and waiting for the break that could finally bring justice. For Leah Sousa, time has done little to lessen the pain. She dreams of Leah, of someone reaching out, trying to tell her the truth. Sometimes she wakes in the night, gripped by the feeling that the answer is just out of reach, that someone knows who did this, but has never come forward. And so the question lingers, like a whisper in the wind. Who killed Leah Sousa? And will the truth ever come to light? Before we end this case, let's sit back and remember the young girl that lost her life, Leah Sousa. Leah was a girl full of light, laughter, and dreams. She had just graduated from elementary school, eager for the next big step, high school. She was kind-hearted, full of life, and loved by those around her. Her home in Cumberland Beach, Ontario, was supposed to be a place of warmth and safety, a place where she could grow into the young woman she was meant to be. But one tragic night in 1990 stole that future away. On what should have been just another peaceful summer night, darkness found its way into Leah's home. As she slept on the couch, an intruder shattered the stillness, creeping through the house with a cruel purpose. Her mother, Lora, was attacked first, beaten to the brink of death. Then the attacker turned to Leah, robbing her of the life she had yet to fully live. By morning, the town awoke to a horror that would never be forgotten. A friend who had come to visit Leah instead discovered an unspeakable tragedy. The once safe neighborhood was now shadowed by grief, and the community's sense of security was shattered. Lora survived the attack, but with no memory of that night. She was left with nothing but loss and unanswered questions. The years have passed, but time has not dulled the pain of Leah's absence. Her laughter should have filled the years that followed. Her first day of high school, her teenage adventures, her dreams unfolding. Instead, all that remains is the mystery of that night, and the aching void left behind. Leah's story is more than a tragedy. It is a reminder of a life stolen too soon, of a young girl whose future was unjustly taken. Though she is gone, her memory remains, woven into the hearts of those who loved her. And until justice is found, the question will always remain, who took Leah away? And will the truth ever come to light? This is the case of Leah Sousa. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories!
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Let's begin detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
So, I think about this case. This case do remind me of one of the cases that we did in the previous episode where a young lady was on her couch and she was unalive. Mm-hmm. But way different time zones in different places. That was placed in Arizona. But the person they have in mind,
Brian Timothy Elson.
I don't think it's him.
No?
I mean, if it is him, it is. But to me, I don't know. It's because if Brian was at the party, he was at the party. Because some people can't lie and say, yeah, he was there. But 60 people, that's a lot of people lying, you know?
Yeah, but it could have been at a certain time. Say he did what he did and then went to the party.
Well, it was early in the morning, like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So,
Yeah, but
I feel sorry for the mom because she was attacked by this person, but she cannot remember anything. And I feel like that's so hard on her because she could possibly solve the case because she saw the person because they attacked her, but she can't remember. And I know it's hard. I think about if it's Brian, if he did do it, it's hard. I don't know. I can't see. I mean, I can see because anything is possible. But to me, I think it's somebody that was watching them for a while. I always wonder, why did they take her into the backyard? Because they assaulted her in the house, but then they took her into the backyard.
yeah.
What was about the backyard? Was they trying to take the body? Like she probably fought back and he thought she was dead and she tried to run. You think that might be a possibility that she tried to run and they killed her in the backyard? But still, the police believe that she was dragged into the backyard. But I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird for them to murder her in the house and leave her outside and like for everybody to see her. That's the
Leah.
Yeah.
I wonder how old Brian was. Was he closer to the mom's age or Leah's age?
Closer to like, well, Leah was 13, so closer to like around Leah age.
So he was like young adult.
Yeah, adult / teenager.
You don't think it was Brian?
I don't think it was Brian. I don't know. His alibi is so tight. I mean, people could lie for him, but I don't know. It just seemed it was too tight. To me, I feel like it was somebody watching. Like somebody had to make that perfect move. I don't know if it's possible, but I feel like she probably had a stalker. Like someone just waiting in the night for her until like they say, okay, here she is. Because you gotta remember, she was out of town for a long time with her mom visiting family, having vacation. They just got back 2 days ago. They just got back. So this person, because even if it was Brian, he had to come with a perfect moment. Like even though he was staying with his grandmama, he probably didn't even, because he was staying for the summer with her, for that summer. So he probably didn't even met Leah, if you think about it. I mean, he probably passed her by a couple of times. But if we really think about it, if he was there for the summer and she was like mostly gone that summer, he wouldn't even notice her. And she just came back 2 days, so he like immediately saw her and like, okay, I'm gonna attack her. I mean, that's a possibility, but I don't see it. I mean, if it ever come out that he is, okay, guys, you can call me out on it. But I don't see it. I feel like it was somebody, I feel like the police focused so much on him. And sometimes I hate when they feel like, okay, this is the person, let's get them. And they focus all their energy on it and it don't be the person. It be somebody you won't even think of. And they wasted so much time and effort. I do wish that they can look back at the DNA and stuff. They didn't collect any DNA. That was in 1990.
Right.
So much has changed. I mean, the rape kits are more advanced than it was in 1990. They could look at her shirt and her clothing that her mom and her were. Because to me, a piece of hair probably fell off on them. A tiny piece of probably hair.
Well, she was sexually assaulted too, so she could have his DNA on her.
Because they said it's no DNA, but to me, it probably because he beat them so much, some sweat, something could have dropped on them. Like I always say, run that DNA. It's something, I feel like if we look back at that case, I feel like they could solve it right now.
So I do feel like it was Brian.
Okay.
I don't know how old he was, but I'm guessing he was probably a young adult or a teenager, or he was younger because he was staying with the grandma. Mm-hmm. Yes, grown men do stay with their grandmas, but it's a little bit less likely. Mm-hmm. So the target was Leah, and she was 13, and he beat Sandra. Sandra was 17, so that means he had a specific type. Mm-hmm. They were both minors. Sandra was barely a minor. Mm-hmm. I do feel like because they were so close, he did see her. So one thing about perpetrators is they're going to scout. They're going to see what's out there. And if something catches their eye, they're going to try and go for it. Mm-hmm. The main target was Leah. Mm-hmm. The party, he said he had 60 witnesses. Maybe those 60 witnesses were too scared to go against him because they knew the type of person that he was. Mm-hmm. Brian was a horrible dude because he beat Sandra.
And stabbed her. But that's another thing. How he killed Sandra and how he killed Leah is two different ways. He stabbed Sandra, but with Lora and Leah, he beat them with they don't know if it was an iron. Like, I feel like the police need a weapon. They think it was something metal, but they couldn't put what it was, really.
But I mean, overall, it was a weapon. He used a weapon on Sandra. He used a weapon on Leah and Lora.
But sometimes most criminals, they stay the same pattern. They don't switch up. So how he killed Sandra and how he killed Leah was two different ways. But,
They were both hand weapons.
But they say the same way. I mean, we can agree to disagree like we always do in cases.
I agree to disagree. Now, he was staying with the grandma. Mm-hmm. So there was a chance that it was him.
I don't see it, but we never really agree on our cases because we have two different personalities. I just think it's somebody the police have not looked into. I mean, did Lora have a little friend guy? I mean, did we ever look into that? We never know. Or did she have a friend? Because sometimes the people that you closest to could be the ones that can hurt you the most. I wonder, did she have a friend that was obsessed with Leah, like trying to buy her something and stuff like that? She probably never even realized it,
I mean, that's always a possibility, of course, but I just have a feeling that it was Brian. The fact that he beat Sandra, it basically tells you that he's done this more than once.
To agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it could be Brian or do you think it could be somebody else? I mean, we don't really know. I mean, we never know until the police solve this case. But it is solvable, as I say in every episode. But also, I feel like let's look into the DNA. Even if police say, oh, there's no DNA, you cannot tell them there's no DNA. That person was not that clean because it's in 1990. He must have like a whole freaking outfit on to cover him up so he wouldn't sweat on them, so he wouldn't drop no hair, no type of DNA. You tell me there's no DNA. If he left a muddy footprint, he left something more. Come on now.
Well, they said that he got lucky with Lora because it was sloppy work. Like, he meant to kill her, but he never checked to see if she did die. Mm-hmm. She survived. The only thing is he got lucky because she doesn't remember who did it. So this, to me, this wasn't calculated or as calculated as you feel.
No, I don't think it's calculated. That's what I'm saying. The police like, oh, he left no DNA and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't that calculated. If he left a muddy footprint, he left more DNA or traces of him. That's what I was trying to say.
No.
Because it's just impossible for him to do such a vicious act and leave nothing behind. 1990, they didn't have the technology that we have now. They could have made more mistakes of looking into things. That's all I was trying to say. But we never know. But they do have people looking into this case. 2 detectives always on this case. I wonder could they be like, hey, let's look at, because they probably still have like her clothes she was wearing and stuff like that. I wonder could they look, at her clothing and try to see if they can find any type of DNA on there.
And then to the party, it was at another town, but how far away was the other town?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, like that's doable. So to me, the whole party thing, like you can get from one place to the next.
Mm-hmm.
You can disappear for an hour or 2 and then come back to the party.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like it was him because he targeted a 17-year-old. He stabbed her to death.
I mean, you could be right. I mean, the window was kind of big, but we always have to look at other possibilities when we're solving a case. Well, guys, this is our case. Tell me, what do you think? Who do you think murdered Leah? And could this case be solved? Because I think it's a possibility. Do you think the police should look more into the DNA? Let me know. Again, we are on all social medias. We are on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you will see I have a Pink Pony shirt. Yes, guys, I am obsessed with that song. It's amazing. Ask my wife.
No, you did not work at a Pink Pony Club.
But it's a shirt that says Pink Pony Club. I'm going to keep dancing at the Pink Pony Club. If you know the song, you know the song. But check us out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Watch us on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating on all podcast platforms. And tell your friends about us. And tell their friends about us. Get us out there, guys. We're a small podcast. But our goal and dream is to help solve as many cases as we can and get more cases out there that you never even heard about. This is a Lesbian Detective. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's suspect.
So proven innocent.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.